Hi, in today's episode of Nat Chats, I want to talk to buyers and what happens when you see a property that you like that you're thinking about making an offer on. It's not uncommon for us in conversations with buyers at home opens or in our follow-up calls after the weekend to chat to buyers who say, Nat, I really like the property, but I think relative to other properties we've seen, it's not as good value and it's a bit overpriced. Well, I guess my immediate response to that is to say, listen, if you've seen another property that you think is better value, that better suits your family needs, fantastic, buy it. But is the conversation really about you've seen another property that you like better? Or is the conversation more about we really like this home, but A, we're not sure if budget-wise we can afford it, or B, we want to where the value actually sits because we're not familiar with comparable sales evidence in the area, or we don't understand the market well enough yet? Or is it C, that you're just trying to test the waters and negotiate a better deal? See, to my way of thinking, if this is the better home that you like, that has better quality location, better fixtures and fittings, a better floor plan that better suits your family needs, more space, whatever it is, then that holds some value. And you need to factor that into your consideration and your deliberations as well. But if the conversation's really the latter and it's really about trying to get a better deal, and it always cracks me up, when buyers say, Natalie, so what will the sellers really take? How negotiable are they? I mean, what are you expecting us as agents to say? Oh yeah, it's overpriced, they'll really take 50 grand less. That's just not going to happen. I appreciate that you want to try and test the waters and get a good deal, but the only way to genuinely know where a seller really sits in terms of the price they're going to take is to make an offer. And it needs to be a real offer in writing. None of this verbal, oh, we don't want to waste the seller's time, we don't want to insult them. If you're genuinely interested in a property, start the process and find out. I, as an agent, do not know where a seller sits until such time as I sit down with an offer in front of them and we start to have the conversation. What's the worst thing that can happen? It takes 30 minutes to write an offer. You probably spent more time thinking about it than doing it than actually doing it. Write your offer and put it forward. You might surprise yourself and buy the property that you like, that best suits your family needs for a price that you'd be happy to pay. And if the negotiation's not successful, what's the big deal? Nothing's been lost. You get to move on to something else. I do wonder sometimes though about this conversation about sellers' expectations, because in my experience, the majority of property in Perth at the moment is extremely well priced and priced to meet the market. And most sellers that are there selling their property are ready to meet the market. So, and there's some great bargains to be had, and I've sold a couple of properties lately that I think are extremely good value. So sometimes I wonder if it's the conversation's really about the seller expectations, or maybe it's unrealistic buyer ones, that you're shopping above your budget and hoping to get something that's above what you can afford to pay. B, you're not understanding the market particularly well, or you're being misled, which is often the case, by automated valuation reports and trying to compare apples and oranges. Or C, you're letting your ego and need for a deal get in the way. So if you're constantly seeing property that you think is overpriced, or you're making offers and missing out, I guess my question or observation to you is maybe it's not the seller's expectations and maybe it's yours, and maybe you really need to recalibrate where you are when it comes to buying. As with anything, I'm happy to have a chat about buying or selling. My number is 0405812273, or email me, natalie@belcourtproperty.com.au. I'd love to hear from you and help. Happy buying and selling, and have a great day.